Hello, this is Jeff Jung, immigration attorney, and today I want to speak to you a little bit about the process of obtaining permanent residency, or otherwise known as the green card. One of the questions that I receive most frequently is what determines whether a person can adjust their status to permanent residence here in the country or whether they have to return to their country of origin. This is very important because for many people, returning to their country of origin means a bar of 10 years in which they cannot return to the United States. So if you have the right to adjust your papers in the country, of course you want to do it that way. Now, what determines this is how you entered the country, principally. A person who entered legally with a visa clearly is entitled to adjust their status here in the country, as long as there was no suspicion of fraud in how they made their way into the country. On the other hand, someone who entered illegally needs to face more questioning. If that illegal entry consisted of presenting oneself at a checkpoint, then it gets very complicated. Many cases have been approved in the law saying that a person who was waved in because they were riding in a back seat and wasn't asked questions, or who answered questions falsely or presented false papers, can still count their entry as regular because it was regular in a procedural sense, presenting themselves at a checkpoint, and they have been able to adjust their papers here inside the country. However, you have to be very careful because certain lies will not be forgivable. Representing oneself as a U.S. citizen falsely, for example, will kill the case right there. Now, what about the person who doesn't enter through the checkpoint, but rather through the desert, walking through the countryside? That person most likely will not be able to adjust their papers here in the country, but there are exceptions. The most important of which is that if someone is a beneficiary of a family petition that was filed before April 30th, 2001, and that petition was able to be approved when it was filed, even if it wasn't, but as long as it was capable of being approved, meaning that all the facts in it were true, and that it was otherwise legally valid. These people are protected by the law known as 245I, and that is a law that says that such beneficiaries can adjust their status now in the country without leaving. As you can see, there are a lot of variables and factors to be known, and every case is different. This is why it's vital to consult with a licensed attorney before taking any action in an immigration case.